Atow and AcroniK. Both players for Team Liquid's Rocket League roster. Got Acro Goat, aka AcroniK, and Atow. Now, I've casted AcroniK in ones before, and he actually really impressed me. I thought he had a pretty natural ability for the game mode. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Atow is the higher rated of the two players. Somebody correct me on that if I'm wrong. It is the start of a new season, so it might have changed. But I've seen Atow kicking about the top 100 a few times. He's a Belgian pro player against the Portuguese AcroniK, who's oh, AcroniK's game crashed. I can reset though, it's fine. I think this should work. It will indeed. The scoreboard's going to be a little bit bugged because I didn't restart the game, but that's fine. It says that Atow scored a goal, but obviously that is just the goal that I then removed with admin mode, in case you are wondering. Rise wants to play the winner. Rise Joy has wanted to play somebody today. I don't know if you fancy a match against him. We'll have to figure it out. There's a lot of people wanting to... Yeah, a lot of people calling each other out in ones these days. Gonna have to figure out how we can get it all to happen. Okay. What have we seen so far this game? Atow's played for the complete half-flip kickoff. Love to see that. It's been my favorite kickoff strategy in 2s and 3s these days. It's very funny to do in ranked. But yeah, it's completely viable in 1v1 as well. It does have a hard counter, but it's difficult to pull off. You've got to kind of got to know or read really, really early that your opponent's half-flipping in the kickoff if you want to hard counter it. So as long as they don't do it every time, then it's difficult to completely shut them down. Oh my goodness, what a flick from Atow. He's completely boomed the backboard with that one, and now AcroniK's failed to clear this one to safety. Atow looking for the bump on him. No such luck, as AcroniK stays alive and stays on the ball in the aftermath as well. Atow's all over him though. This is some great boost pressure play from him. And eventually he works his way into a goal. Quite a few people have been asking recently about what to do on the straight spawn. What's a different kind of strategy you could do on the straight spawn? Because obviously you're spawning in line with the ball, so there is no inside-outside to aim for. Of course, you can still switch which direction you're dodging, but it's difficult to really get a big win in the kickoff. In the same way, it's difficult to really lose the kickoff too hard. But one thing you can do is what OSM was doing in the last match that we saw, and that's switching up the timing of your arrival, getting there just a little bit later and trying to chip the ball around your opponent. If you see them coming from the left, try and chip it to the right. If you see them coming from the right, try and chip it to the left. But alternatively, you can just inverted half flip and land upside down. Use the press X to flip your card over at the last second to kind of bounce your card back up into the ball. It's a great kickoff because you end up facing your own goal, so you can save pretty much anything. And very, very weird one for your opponent to run into if they're not used to it as well. So Atow, at the moment, this is my super early prediction. Atow looks like he's more comfortable in the ones boost game. He looks very quick, and he looks like he's quite comfortable consistently attacking against his teammate here. AcroniK, when he did play on my stream before, looked great when he was able to get his aerial game going. He, took his aerial game from 3s into 1s with full consistency. He didn't fall apart and land out of position a bunch like this, like Atow has done right here. So that's what AcroniK's going to be trying to do, is really just start flexing his aerial muscles. Atow, I think, is just going to try and play, at least based on what we've seen so far, a more solid one style. He's in the Fennec. He's going to be 50-50ing and boost starving his way to victory. And a great in and out save that was. AcroniK didn't have a lot of boost to be up for that one. Atow punishes him with confidence. Here's that half flip kickoff from Atow once again. AcroniK loses control of the ball after one touch, and this is the benefit of the half flip kickoff, is sometimes your opponent just gives you the ball and then you can just attack for free, and you've not really taken any big risk at losing a straightaway kickoff goal. Although I think AcroniK will be scoring after not too much time. I say after not too much time, it took him a long time if you you know, consider the last time he scored. Just not too long after the most recent kickoff, at least. Love the way that Atow moves around the field. Such a smooth landing every single time. Oh dear, AcroniK's completely beamed it. Atow should slow roll this. AcroniK's not moving. I think Atow's noticed this. Yes, he has. He tries to stop it on the goal line, doesn't. And it looks like AcroniK was going to dart back after seeing Atow slow the ball down on his goal line. Yeah, AcroniK completely beamed it there. Tried to rush a wall shot. I just didn't get it done. AcroniK now loses another kickoff possession. Atow with better boost management of the kickoff. Just had a little bit more left over. Look at this from the Belgian as well. Confident. Jump off the back wall. AcroniK shuts it down. Looks like he's used a lot of boost just to get back to the ball though. Not a lot going there for AcroniK in the air. He's not brought that big aerial game I was talking about like he did last time he played on stream. That was a heavy first touch. Had to invest most of his boost just to get back to the ball. No reset when he arrived. And this time he plays for the ground game and Atow shuts that down just as easily as well. It's not going all that well for AcroniK at the moment. He needs to either up the success rate of his aerial game or change the game plan entirely. He chooses the former as a reset gets launched into the top corner. Atow drops a nice shot. I didn't expect to see that after all the Twitter trash talk between the two. But that is more like it from AcroniK. That is what he did the last time that he played on stream. That's why I was so impressed by this guy. Same as Joyo. You know, these guys brand new to One's Showmatch scene, but able to bring all of their mastery of the threes aerial game into their 1v1 play. Combine that with quick recoveries, combine that with solid defense, and, well, solid goalkeeping, I'll say. Maybe not defense as a whole. That usually tends to be something that is lacking from newer players to the one scene. Pressure in the midfield being one thing that's very hard to take from twos and threes into the ones game where you've got to do it all yourself. Now Atow, with just a few seconds left, might just play for the ground here. He's pinched it into the ground. Oh, he's beamed it! Pre-flip from AcroniK goes in! What a finish! Why did Atow try to pitch the ball clear? I have no idea. Well, he probably thought it was going to go a bit further than that, but what a finish from AcroniK! There's still a lot to be done after Atow beamed the finish. Or beamed the pinch, I should say. He tried to get a bunch of distance on it, but that was the last bounce the ball was going to make before it just ends the game. So AcroniK needed to nail that, and he did. And what a throw from Atow. He had full control of the ball. Could have air dribbled it. Could have dribbled it. Could have played for a 50-50. Could have done a lot of anything, to be honest. Anything but just immediately relinquishing control and losing control of his own car at the same time. There's not really many ways to lose control of your car and give away the ball. That was it. And now AcroniK's won in overtime. Surely, it's wide open, and he's done it. Well, Atow's thrown away game one completely. But well done to AcroniK for clutching up here. Sorry about the screen freeze. I'm not sure why that happened, but well played, AcroniK. Never gave up, even though it looked beyond all doubt the game one was going to go to his teammate and rival. But Atow, what have you just done? I mean, AcroniK with 12 saves. That's something I kind of expected coming into this, because AcroniK last time he played on stream had great goalkeeping. He had really nice recoveries. He was managing his boost pretty well. You know, in terms of fighting for the boost and fighting for control of the midfield, we didn't really see too much from him. But goalkeeping, boost management, recoveries, and aerial offense, those were the things that AcroniK really nailed. And he did well at the end of this game as well in all those aspects. But Atow continues to dominate the midfield control, continues to dominate the territory, and he's making this difficult for AcroniK. He's not giving AcroniK time to get comfortable on any play. Oh dear, I think Atow might have played that one a bit too close to his own goal. It's not gone awkwardly off the post though, luckily for him. And now he's the one who's completely lost control of a simple clear. It looks like both players are feeling the pressure of the grudge match, shall we say. You know, there's going to be plenty trash talk from whoever wins this every time that they scrim, and if they might have scrims later on today, those will be interesting after a show match between the two. Look at AcroniK's moves in the air. He's so hard to read, he's so hard to shut down. with the aerial plays, making it look like a air dribble reset there. Instead, it's just an air dribble kind of fadeaway 50-50. Atow's flicks have been impressive. That one wasn't quite up to the par that he set for himself. This is a better fight from AcroniK in this game. Really getting in Atow's face whenever Atow's trying to keep control of the back corner. Oh my goodness. What a save from Atow. That was a monster of a flick from AcroniK. Atow's managed to get the save on it. Look at AcroniK as well. Perfectly saving the ball off the inside of his own post in a manner that allowed him to grab his back corner boost and deny the potential demo that Atow was threatening. Atow opens up a monstrous angle for the shot. That forces AcroniK into the net. He's got to be so careful with that boost finger there. See that he's kind of eager to use it. He's used all of his boost now. AcroniK's got plenty, or Atow's got plenty I should say. And he manages to muscle AcroniK off his back corner boost once again. This is something that Atow has been doing quite dominantly, but AcroniK's composure is intact. And now both players run dry on boost. Atow picks up the mid. AcroniK unable to get any distance on his flick there. Has conceded another goal. Kind of panic there, AcroniK. You didn't need to flick the ball, didn't need to jump for this one either, but I think the continued play with low boost started to just build up on him as more and more time went by. When he didn't have boost to play with, he was starting to feel the pressure and eventually caved. Now he's got a chance to make something happen. Another big aerial play from AcroniK incoming. So close range reset, and it's in. Atow couldn't read it. You can never underestimate AcroniK's ability to get a reset, even if he's having to really stretch his neck out for it. Atow kind of gave up on AcroniK getting a reset on that play. Stayed low, trying to get a good hitbox to save a 50-50. AcroniK always has the ability to get the reset if he wants one, and he's got the lead here. Well, my prediction's in shambles. AcroniK is starting to run away with this. Comes back in game 1 to win it. And now his defense looking a lot more active in game number 2. He had to make tons of goal line saves in game number 1. This time, he's been challenging, facing the play. He's been closing down the distance towards his opponent. Athrow, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, Atow definitely Athrow in game 1. It's not been an Athrow in game 2. It's been much more to do with AcroniK's improved defensive strategy. Once again, he's lunged in and makes good contact with the ball. Perfect timing on the boost respawn. Atow's dove in with no contact on the ball or AcroniK's car. That just leaves it wide open for AcroniK once again. Well, what on earth is happening here? AcroniK getting these little wins here and there. I think the fact that he started to challenge Atow more often and more early on the average play has got Atow panicking as well. Both players have had their moments where they've looked like they're rushing themselves. Atow up early for the rebound. Misses. AcroniK grabbed the back corner boost to the far side. Makes good contact with the challenge off the wall. How's Atow's landing? It's perfect. He gets control of the ball on the boost again. In comes AcroniK though. Oh my goodness, how did Atow manage to get a demo there? I've got to save the replay on that one. That was bizarre. I don't know how he managed to get up enough speed from what looked like a standstill. How's AcroniK's open net accuracy? Oh dear, it's not good. Well, that was a bit of a tricky one though. Probably a lot harder than it looked because the ball did bounce quite high and he didn't have any boost to play with. Great pre-jump save. Atow ramps up off the post, uses the wave dash landing to accelerate into position. AcroniK's got to be just calm here. Last time he was in this kind of position, eventually he just rushed a flick and lost control and gave Atow a goal. This time, he does not make that mistake. He stays calm and he turtles in his 5th goal of the game. It's Atow who lunges forward and it's Atow who trails by 3. It just looks like Atow, despite, I think, having overall a better midfield game than AcroniK, has lost all confidence in that aspect of his 1v1 game. After AcroniK had a couple of successful early challenges, Atow's just started to panic and started to rush most of his attacking plays, and that's really played into AcroniK's favour, is definitely more of a counter-puncher. Oh my days, what a pre-flip from AcroniK. How on earth has he scored that? That is unbelievable. Look at the angle. Look at the power. Look at the accuracy. AcroniK won game one with a pre-flip, sending him into overtime on an open net. This time, he puts it in from a much more difficult angle, but makes it look easy. These are some of the best pre-flips that you're going to see anywhere in the world. AcroniK completely styling on his teammate now, making it look easy. Atow has got to dig deep. He's not got a lot of experience in one's show matches from what I know. This is the first time I've casted him. Well, okay, he's got the trash talk. He says, you know, I will reverse sweep you, right? Still, AcroniK does not have an answer for the half flip kickoff. I don't know if he knows the counter strategy. I've talked about this a few times recently. Of course, most notably in the Joria's Razier's match, but Razier's and Razier's and AcroniK, neither of them have figured out the counter strategy for the half flip kickoff, which is of course quickly getting around the ball and hitting it into your own back corner, and then quickly getting into that position before you get demoed. So I'll be very interested to see if at any point AcroniK downloads that strategy that Atow keeps using to great success, because I think Atow should just keep doing it. He should just half flip right now. It's getting him a possession every single time. Let's see if it's what he decides to do. No, this time he will decide to play the ball. Doesn't want to make it too obvious. AcroniK not falling for the fake mid boost grab there from Atow. He didn't really commit too hard for it. Love the positioning there from AcroniK, hiding behind the ball, making Atow think that he might be challenging. This is a position where Atow thrived in game number 1, and he does thrive in game number 3 as well. When he can boost starve AcroniK, I think he's got what it takes to wear down the defense, and he's got the pinpoint accurate shots. He's had a massive flick as well at times today. I think he should be confident with his continued offense. He should try to just take his time with these plays. No need to rush and get a shot off early. Oh, that's a perfect shot though. If you're going to shoot early, why not make it top corner? Atow booms it in off the bar. Big kick off to the outside from Atow. Lovely touch to set himself up for an early opportunity on net. And he rolls right through AcroniK with a 50-50 to make it 3-0. It's a lovely lean back reset there. AcroniK knew that he had it, jumped up to try and block the incoming flick, which never came. Looks like AcroniK might be able to win this kickoff. Indeed he will. Switches sides to give himself an opportunity to go off the wall. He's right to launch the ball up and over the incoming Atow there with a bit of what you'll hear in the freestyler community being called a pogo, but there's I think 2 kinds of pogos, and I don't know what freestylers are calling it these days. Like, I know it's a pogo when you bounce your car off the ground and the ball bounces in front of you and then you continue air dribbling, but what do they call it when you just bounce the ball off the top of your car? What do they call that? They call that one a plan B. I thought plan B was when an air dribble's going wrong and then you recover it by like just hitting the ball into the sidewall and getting enough height on it that you can start the air dribble once again. I think I talked about this when I was casting the Freestyle Invitational a while back. I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it make a lot more sense if plan B was when an air dribble's going wrong and you've got to restart it? It's like, okay, this wasn't what I was trying to do, but now that we're here, I might as well salvage it in some way to at least have a chance to do something. I think I've had this exact conversation with you guys once not too long ago. Maybe it was quite long ago. A pogo is when you simultaneously bounce off on the ground and hit the ball at the same time. Oh, so you're saying that plan B is where you just let the ball bounce on the ground and then your car bounces as well and you continue air dribbling. They call that a plan B. Okay, that makes a bit more sense, if that's what you're saying. Love this from Atow. AcroniK really didn't want to own goal that. You can see that even though He's trailing by 3 goals, about to be trailing by 4 goals. He didn't want to hit it into his own net. Oh, you're mistaken, it's the other way around? Okay, so in fact it is stupid. Sorry, Freestyler community, but I think that's the wrong way around. So you're telling me, okay, chat, for one time, spam ones in chat if Freestylers call it Plan B when you hit the ground and the ball at the same time and the ball bounces up into the air. Into the goal. Is that what they call Plan B? Okay, then that makes absolutely no sense, because that could be somebody's Plan A. I could see plenty of situations where that would be Plan A, and I don't know why you'd call Plan A Plan B, because it might just be somebody's Plan A. Doesn't make sense. Why is it called Plan B? Somebody explain it to me. I don't think that's a good name. I think the first time I heard something being called a pogo is when I was casting Muri, a freestyle 1v1 Muri versus someone. And he, oh, lovely shot from AcroniK. He bounced his car off the ground vertically to then continue air dribbling a ball that bounced on the ground. Neither the ball or his car touched until he continued air dribbling, and he called that a pogo. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I can kind of see what you mean there, because you are bouncing, up into the air like a pogo stick would. So fair enough. But yeah, Plan B, I have no idea why you'd call it Plan B. I see no reason why it should be called that. Doesn't make sense. It's not intuitive at all. Yeah, Muri was one of my favorite freestylers to watch because he just made every shot up as he went. He wasn't really one of those freestylers who just goes to the same shot over and over again, which can get a little bit boring. Yeah, we'll have to think of a new name for that one. We'll have to think of a new name, in my opinion. I'm going to probably refer to it as something different, because it just doesn't make sense. Okay. Look at AcroniK, he countered it, he did it! Well done, AcroniK, he countered the half flip kickoff. Well, he didn't do perfectly, but he did well enough. He did well enough, and that's going to force Atow now to rush as soon as he half flips onto the ball. He's going to need to start gunning it towards AcroniK to try and get a demo on him as quickly as he can. If somebody does manage to turn the ball around after you half flip onto the boost, you've got to get on top of them as quickly as possible. Even if you can't catch up to them to take the ball or demo them, at least getting close to them before they can turn around and start a dribble on you is massively advantageous. Just like any other position in 1v1, you want to be in your opponent's face before they turn and have a chance to try and dribble you or set up an air dribble shot. Tight angle rebound here from AcroniK. Just fires slightly wide. It's been a much better game 3 from Atow. He said he was going to reverse sweep his teammate, his rival, his opponent here. So far so good on that front. Squishy save, squishy bounce, squishy shot, squishy reset, squishy flick, squishy aerial flipping motion. I think my favorite one is the squishy aerial flipping motion. I love when people do that. Looks like this might be an FF. I don't know if AcroniK knows he can just type FF and I'll start the game, the next game, but you can indeed do that. I feel like it might be insulting to tell him that right now. Hey AcroniK, you know you are allowed to forfeit. Oh, go on. Oh, okay, that would have been a great goal to send us into game 4. So would this, to be honest, but it looks like Atow might not have got that second reset with all 4 of his wheels. What do you guys think? Spam 1 in chat if you do think Atow's going to reverse sweep like he says he will. I think he's definitely got what it takes. He calmed down a bit more in that game. He didn't rush his offense. He's kind of adapted to the more aggressive style that AcroniK's defending with. And, you know, overall today, I stand by what I said earlier. Atow does look like he's got just slightly better spacing on the ball. He's probably going to control the majority of the possession because he manages his positioning just a little bit better. Oh, he's messed up there though. That's going to give AcroniK a chance to demo. He should have tried to demo Atow on the landing there because he could see that Atow's going to be jumping. He got there a little bit too early. I think he was kind of thinking more about getting the boost seal in the demo, but there was a free goal opportunity there for AcroniK. We eventually scored anyway, but he could have had a free goal if he just waited for Atow to dodge, and then he could have demoed him at the landing. Maybe just a little bit of inexperience there from AcroniK in a position that the demo was available. Perfect save from Atow, lands on the back corner boost, commences his dribble immediately. AcroniK's up in the air. It's both players start an elaborate dance to try and outplay each other. Great demo from Atow. AcroniK did not see that one coming. He has shown a little bit of inexperience with the demo positions in this game so far. Not sure what he's confused about here, AcroniK. It did look like Atow was comfortably supersonic. Scoopalicious69, thanks to the Prime. Welcome back to the channel. Beautiful bounce for Atow to work with. Not a lot of boost invested to get a big shot on target, and he follows through for 2-1. That's just the ideal bounce for a player of his caliber. He manages to get his reset with plenty boost left in the tank. Atow's starting to build his momentum. AcroniK's got to get something going for himself here. He's got to slow down the Atow offensive success. Oh, that's a great touch. AcroniK confidently shoots, but he misses as well. Well, he didn't take his time there. He just let loose immediately, missed, and makes up for it after the fact. Couple of bumps onto Atow, left him stranded, and AcroniK makes a pretty quick response to Atow's previous comment in the chat. He said, "Bro, you need to get bump before as well." Moist vibes, says AcroniK. I'm not sure what that refers to. Well, my best guess would be that Moist are a pretty bumpy team, but aren't all pro teams these days bumpy? They certainly should be. It's a very, very powerful strategy. Horrible bounce for AcroniK. He wanted a flat one. He gets the ball arcing all the way up to the ceiling and back again, but he's got a perfect setup off the wall to work with here. No reset yet. Now he gets one. Has to use it immediately. Look at the recovery from AcroniK. He's right back into position. Just not enough boost to get around the ball with a shot. Now here comes Atow. Full boost for him. Top shelf shot denied by AcroniK, who still has 22 boost. I love AcroniK's boost management when he is in the net. He's able to make saves on very difficult shots without using all of his boost. That gives him chances to survive the extended onslaughts that Atow's sending towards him. Great dribble from AcroniK now. Jumped fully upside down to get a speedy recovery there. The crossbar denied him. The lead in game 4. AcroniK forced to play that ball early. Didn't want to leave it lingering in the back corner for Atow to work with. As Atow tries to chip away at AcroniK's defense. Tries to run him dry of boost once again. What's AcroniK got left? Not a lot of anything. Atow scores. AcroniK just needed a slight touch on that ball to get it to fly off to safety. He thought he could just deflect it over the top of the incoming Atow, but he thought incorrectly. Pringlefist, thanks to the 5-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. We're currently on the road to a second game 5 of the day, with a little bit of a different route. Atow trying to reverse sweep on the way there. Really smart play there from Atow. Leaving the back corner boost to keep control of the ball. You don't need 100 if you got mechanics like this guy. 81 will do as he launches off the wall. Fakes the reset shot, pops the ball into the top corner. Full volley. You know, if he had darted away to the back corner boost there, he might have conceded possession, or certainly given AcroniK a chance to get a touch on the ball before Atow could start the air dribble. There's little things like that that I think have given Atow big advantages in this matchup. As AcroniK now comes out on top of the aerial exchange. Atow pre-jumped early, tried to come back down, but he hit the ball a bit too high. AcroniK goes under him. Both players have a pretty good read on each other in the air, but it doesn't matter all that much when you're up against aerial plays of this caliber. The attacker usually has the advantage. Big pre-jump save there from AcroniK. Atow darts quickly back into the midfield. Masterful spacing again from Atow. You can see that he's clearly got a lot of experience in these positions. If it's not 1v1 show matches. It's probably 1s and 2s ranked that give him this level of defense to work with. Just barely makes contact there. Knows the ball's, at least for now, in a relatively safe location. Atow with a quick burst of speed. Denies AcroniK the immediate offensive pressure. AcroniK might have one still. He's failed to control the ball in the back corner, but he gets the ball past Atow nonetheless. Atow shuts the door in the near post just as AcroniK was trying to force it open. And he's lost control of the ball with no shots on net to speak of. AcroniK needs to be clinical here. Most of the possession once again has been Atow's, but now Atow's out of position. AcroniK shoots and it's good. Well, I said he's got to be clinical, and he makes good in the first opportunity that he gets. What was Atow thinking here? He did not need to go all that way for the risky demo play. Of course, if it lands, he's in a good position to score for a 2-goal lead, but if it doesn't land, his opponent is scoring to tie the game. So, bit of an all-in move there from Atow, and it didn't pay off. How is he going to fare this time around? Flip reset, landed underneath the ball. Wasn't able to get much of a flick on it, but Atow's going to be the next up to attack anyway. Shoots into the crossbar. AcroniK jumps, manages to deflect the ball sideways. And he saved a ton of boost as well. Both players have managed theirs to perfection, but Atow's flick is too good. He's been just good enough with the flick game today. He's been threatening. AcroniK didn't want to jump too early here in case Atow went for a low 50-50. The perfect mix-up of low challenges and high flicks have had AcroniK guessing this time incorrectly. Less than 20 seconds left. Atow with a couple of 50-50s. Gets himself another possession play. Controls it well. He's threatening a 2-goal lead late in the game. Wave dash shot. Fired low. It's not a goal, but it is a boost steal. And another possession play for Atow. He's up in the air here. No contact. Well, AcroniK's going to get more than half a chance here, but he can't get back to it. Atow has indeed sent us into Game 5. He was right all along. He is reverse sweeping. The script is complete. We get our second Game 5 of the day. Who's going to come out on top? AcroniK had a much better defensive stand there against the consistent pressure Atow put on him. But when it comes to 50-50s, flicks, ball pressure, spacing, I think Atow's just got AcroniK's number. AcroniK needs to start winning the mind game wars. He needs to start scoring more of his big aerial plays like he did earlier on in the series to put the pressure on his teammate, his opponent, Atow, who, you know, when the pressure's been put on him, has crumbled. And now the pressure will be at an all-time high in Game 5. Atow with the low boost play off the kickoff, but it's a good one. He scores, and he made it look quite easy as well. His flicks have been excellent. And look at how he uses ball cam, or lack thereof, to keep an eye on his opponent there. He knew that if he turned the ball cam on, it would be difficult to see AcroniK turning. He's done that a couple of times this series. This time he's managed to make good on the pinch. That's what he tried to do in game number 1. Atow will feel like this series should already be over. Oh, look at that. Well, AcroniK has mind-gamed his teammate there. That's huge. My bad, says Atow in the quick chat. And that's exactly what AcroniK needs to be doing. He needs to be playing for aerial plays whenever he can. He needs to try and be as sneaky as possible. He needs to try and be as tricky as possible. Because I think when both players just play straight up 1v1, Atow is slightly better. And that is enough to make big wins on the majority of positions in 1v1. Slightly better is usually a 3-0 win in 1v1. It's only when you can find aspects of the game that you can dominate and win in that you can offset that advantage. Big play there from AcroniK, tripping up his opponent just as the counter-attack was commencing, but he's not landed well there. Fell on the inside of the post, and now here comes Atow with a wave dash shot that nets himself yet another boost steal. AcroniK's boost management hasn't been great here. Atow's starting to wear him down, and he will air dribble in second time around. That is composure from Atow. That is pretty hard to stop from AcroniK's POV. Usually he manages his boost pretty well, but that time he almost completely ran out. Well, the ball's slowly bouncing on target here. He'll definitely need another touch, which doesn't happen. Atow steals the mid boost from right under AcroniK's nose. He just knows when AcroniK doesn't have anything, Atow. He knows when there's no threat in the position, and he can just get up close and personal and pressure the ball without the risk of AcroniK counter-attacking him. Well, Atow will probably think that he got a demo there, but AcroniK gets away from him. Double reset from AcroniK. He doesn't get the second touch on the ball, and Atow's away. That's going to be 3-1. Oh, it looked pretty good for AcroniK, but he must have missed that second reset. It never came through. Atow didn't panic. Runs the ball into the open net. Mordak615, thanks to the 20-month Prime. Welcome back to the channel. AcroniK needs something, and he needs it soon, and he's not going to get it. Atow shoots into the near post, rebounds with no answer from AcroniK. I think AcroniK was just kind of, more than anything, hoping that Atow misses the ball there, but come on, Atow's not missing from that range. AcroniK will answer back with a quick goal off the kickoff. Atow's wave dash recovery getting completely bulldozed there. It's one of the ways to counter the wave dash recovery kickoff, is just hit the ball really, really hard. Try and get them to fall over backwards. Of course, I think if the wave dash recovery kickoff is executed to perfection, there's no way to really knock somebody over backwards. If they're staying low enough on the ball, you can't really go right through them. And in that case, the counter strategy is to try and go around them to the side. Atow slots in a simple hook shot. AcroniK with no chance to get back and save that one. I think he was expecting more of an opportunity to demo his opponent there, maybe more of a chance to get a 50-50 in the offensive third. Atow denies AcroniK that opportunity. This time it's AcroniK with a trip maneuver to deny Atow the quick wave dash back to the ball. It's a perfect bounce for AcroniK to work with. Heavy first touch, but he's right back on it. The ball comes to a standstill after AcroniK gets one light touch on it. Oh, AcroniK's managed to work his way around Atow anyway. That was a position that Atow should have been fine in, but I think he was more worried about AcroniK demoing him. He didn't want to rush into the ball, and then after stopping and staying alive, he just did a whole lot of nothing. I think he underestimated AcroniK from that position. Still, 2-goal lead for the Belgian. AcroniK comes out pretty strong in that first 50-50 that they've played for. Oh dear, AcroniK will be disappointed with that outcome. He had Atow beaten to the ball, but Atow managed to kind of pit maneuver him and force him to miss the boost. Another easy open net for Atow after the fact. AcroniK, yeah, he's not too happy with that one. He's expected a boost steal there. Thought he'd outplayed his opponent, but you got to be so careful when you're flipping right in front of your opponent like that. They might just tap you, and when you're in the air, the slightest touch can make a big impact. Atow denies AcroniK the shot immediately after the kickoff as well, and AcroniK's not played for the back corner boost. He loses control. He does make contact to deny the mind game from Atow, who's managing his boost brilliantly here, keeping up consistent pressure. Not for the first time today. Atow just decides to dart across the box, steal the 100 boost, and then attack from the far side, create a bit of space for himself while boost starving his opponent completely. And AcroniK's ran away from this. Atow knows he's going to try and slow this. Perfect control from Atow. AcroniK knows that he's got to come back and own goal here. Oh my goodness, he saved it! What? That is unbelievable. Well, Atow did the right thing. He tried to knock a couple seconds off the clock, but AcroniK has somehow pinched it from an impossible angle. Atow's going to slow roll him again. But my goodness, what a save from AcroniK. I thought he was just going to own goal it. I thought surely he's just going to hit that into his own net and get on with it. With a 4-goal deficit with over a minute remaining, but he saved it. And then he didn't get rewarded for it. He just conceded it after a few more seconds anyway. But he did save it, which is pretty cool. He's being reverse swept though, which is less cool. Bit cringe from AcroniK POV. He's still in it. And he's slotted an open net bottom left to close the score gap by 1. Caution being thrown to the wind here now from AcroniK. He has to go for everything. If he's got any cheeky kickoff strats, now's the time to use them. But it's actually Atow who slows his approach to the ball. AcroniK comes away with it. And into the air we go. Heavy first touch invites Atow's challenge, which connects. And it's a good one. Atow slots in his 8th goal. He's doubled the AcroniK scoreline once again. Just too heavy with the first touch off the wall from AcroniK. Atow says, "I told you," followed by the colon / That is just too good for Atow. I think he knew that he was the better player in standard 1v1. AcroniK's had his moments. He clutched up game 1. He really surprised Atow in game number 2 with a bunch of early challenges, a bunch of mind games, a bunch of big aerial plays, but when it came down to it, the fundamentals of 1v1, boost steals, the 50-50 game, defensive spacing, I think Atow's just been on a different level today. It looked like that from early on in the series as well. Well played. Atow complete sort of reverse sweep on his teammate, and that is a fully deserved win for him. He was the better player today. I think he's just a bit more comfortable in the ones arena right now. But AcroniK's, he's got potential. He's got great goalkeeping, and I think when he remembers to manage his boost, when he remembers that he's about to be boost starved for an extended period of time, he's very good at it, and he's got the goalkeeping talent to survive for long periods of time and really force his opponent to play for big shots in order to get past him. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's just a bit too much. Atow's spacing, Atow's pressure, it's building constantly.